Something that might surprise you is the name of your creative business might be a nickname under the law. You're going to walk away from this video knowing what a DBA is, what a DBA isn't, the 3 times you might need a DBA, why you want to get one, and then how to get it. Hi, my name is Tiffany Staley, founder of The Artist JD, a place designed to add ease to the legalese of running your creative business. This week's question comes to us from JK in Pennsylvania. JK asks, does my blog need a DBA? So first off, what is a DBA? A DBA goes by 4 different names. It's a doing business as, which is shortened to DBA, a fictitious business name, which is shortened to an FBN, an assumed name, or a trade name. All 4 of these names describe the same concept, and that concept is that you are allowed to do business as something other than your legal name. A DBA, all it's doing is allowing you to have a fun, creative name for your business that doesn't match up with your legal name if you're a sole proprietor, or your LLC's or corporation's name if you're an LLC or corporation. That's all it's doing, is basically functioning as a legal nickname. And the reason you have to file for a DBA is because your clients and customers, if something goes wrong, needs to understand who's legally responsible for that business. And so what you do when you get a DBA is all you do is go down most likely to your county and file for it, and then there will be a record of who's the legally responsible person for that business. So that's all a DBA is doing, is allowing you to have a fun, creative name for your business that isn't your legal name. Since your DBA is really just a nickname, that means it's not the same as creating an LLC, because both LLCs and sole proprietors can have a DBA. You create an LLC to put a fence up between your business life and your personal life. So if anything goes wrong, the problems stay on their own side of the fence. They can't cross over. And filing for a DBA isn't the same thing. There's a totally different process that you have to go through to become an LLC and put up that fence. So a DBA is not going to provide you that kind of protection and put up that fence. A DBA also isn't the same thing as going to the USPTO and filing for a trademark. Once again, there's a whole different cost, procedure, and forms you have to file in order to make that happen. All a DBA is doing is allowing you to have a fun, creative name for your business that aligns with what you're doing for your clients or customers. It's not, again, putting up that fence or giving you a registered trademark. So, now that you know what it is and what it isn't, why do you need one and when do you need one? There are 3 times when you're going to need to get a DBA for your creative business. The first is when you're a sole proprietorship and your name isn't the same as your business name. The second is when your LLC name isn't the same as your business name. And this often comes about because you have multiple brands or businesses under the same LLC umbrella. And the final one that you might need a DBA for is when you're in a partnership and you imply that there are multiple business owners. So what do I mean by this? I've put together 5 examples for you of when a creative business will and won't need to file and obtain a DBA. Our first example is Molly the Maker. Molly has a New York LLC. And her LLC's name is Molly Knits LLC. However, her website, her social media accounts, and everything else associated with her business is Knits by Molly. And because Molly's LLC name is not the same as her public-facing business name, she'll need to obtain a DBA. Our second example is for someone who has multiple brands or businesses under the same LLC umbrella. Courtney has a California LLC, And this LLC's name is CC Coach LLC. However, she has two brands. Brand number 1 is Coaching by Courtney, and brand number 2 is CC Career Coach. Because her brand names do not align with her LLC name, she also will need a DBA. Now, if one of her brand names was CC Coach and the other was Coaching by Courtney, she'd only need to obtain the DBA for the Coaching by Courtney brand name. If you're curious if you should have multiple brands or businesses under the same LLC umbrella, last season I did a video that talks you through how to make that decision. So make sure you head over there if you're interested in doing this to learn when it is and isn't a good idea. Our third example is something that comes up a lot, and that's if you have an LLC and you want to not have that LLC at the end of your name. So your LLC name is Molly Knits and you're doing business as just Molly Knits. Here's where the problem comes in of different locations having different rules. In some places, you don't need to file for a DBA if you're dropping the LLC. While in other locations, if you don't want to have that LLC at the end of your name, you're going to need to file a DBA to not have it tacked on every single time. Our fourth example is Thomas the Teacher. Now, Thomas is a sole proprietorship, and his legal name is Thomas Smith, but his business name is Mighty Websites. You're not going to be surprised that since his legal name doesn't align with his business name, he's going to need a DBA. Now, if his business name was Smith Designs Mighty Websites, then he probably won't need a DBA because his last name is included in his business name. Our final example is Claire the Curator. Claire is also a sole proprietorship, and her legal name is Claire Jones. However, her business name is Claire Jones and Company. Because of that and company, it implies that there are multiple business owners. And because of that, Claire will need to obtain a DBA for her business. So which bucket does your creative business fall in? Do you need a DBA because your name is not the same as your business name? Do you need a DBA because your LLC's name isn't the same as your business name? Do you need a DBA because you imply that there are multiple business owners? Or did you luck out and not need a DBA at all? I'd love to know your answer in the comments. Why should you go through the headache of going down and figuring out how you're going to file for your DBA? And then going through that process, paying the money and doing everything that's needed to do it. Why should you do it? The big reason is money. If you don't have a DBA, your bank isn't going to let you accept payment in the name of your business. You will only be able to accept payment in your legal name. The DBA allows you to have your clients or customers write checks or provide payment to your business's name. So that's the number one reason why you're going to go through and deal with this legal red tape, because you want to be able to accept payment in your business's name. So now that I've convinced you it's a valuable thing to do for your creative business, how are you going to do it? Unfortunately, I have to give you the terrible lawyer answer of it depends. And the reason it depends is because this is done on a county basis usually. And across the 50 states, we've got hundreds, if not thousands, of counties. And every county is going to pick from one of those 4 names to decide what they're going to call it. They're going to have a different form, they're going to have different fees, and they might have different requirements about if you have to publish a notice in the newspaper to after you go ahead and file your forms in order for your DBA to be final. So unfortunately, all I'm going to be able to tell you to do is hop over to Google, type in your county name, plus the words doing business as, and then look at the results. Make sure you're looking for the results from your county government website, not from some other website. You want to get the information straight from your county about which form you need to fill out, how much you're going to need to pay them, and what the process looks like. Once you've either decided you don't need a DBA or you've gotten your DBA, you are well on your way to tackling the 5 must-do tasks that I think are minimum for every creative business. In the show notes, I've left you 2 resources so that you can tackle the rest of these tasks. The first is a workshop I did a little while back that walks you through what exactly each of these tasks are and how you're going to do it. The second is if you join my membership community, which membership is only $9 a month, you'll get instant access to a course I've put together that walks you through each of these 5 tasks and then allows you, when you hit a roadblock, to not only ask our community, but to ask me how you're going to overcome that. If you liked this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so that you can get notified each time a new episode drops. I've also left a link to a video I did last season about how to pick a name for your creative business that won't land you in legal hot water. I can't wait to join you in the comments. Have a great day.